This is a video to show how to take your GPX file of a total adventure race and to actually break it up into the multiple legs of that race. I downloaded the GPX from Adventure Addicts that they use the trackers. They had the GPX file available. I have uploaded it here to my Strava on my desktop, and you see it has the total thing. This is actually not mine. This is another team's that I need to use for this example. So first you need to, you pull up the run. If you go my activities, you'll find it. You go to actions, split. You can then split the entire route into 2 or 3 activities. Now the C2C had up to 11 or more activities, depending upon how you want to break it up. So I'll show you how to actually break it up into all those parts. Right now I'm just going to say 3 activities because that's the most I can do, and then I'm going to zoom in at the beginning of the race. The very beginning of the race actually started with a prologue. Okay, so I would want to show the prologue and not have it be a part of the paddle section. So the dot would start there and it would move out until there, 1 kilometer, so about half, there we go, 0.8 kilometers when it went to the water. Okay, so that would be 1 leg. And then, so the first activity is the prologue, which was running. The second activity is the paddle, which ended here. And so for here, I would just take this and slide it until we get to where we see it there. There we go, bam. And now I have the prologue, the paddle, and then the rest of the race. I would just say split that. Yes. Now when it splits it, it's actually going to use the same exact name for each of the events. Okay. While it's doing that, this is a good time to point out that to split an activity, it has to be either a run or a ride. I like to choose run because it well, I'd like to choose run. So activities, I'm going to go private so I can see it. Here we go. So you see my C2C sample, C2C sample, C2C sample. So it's split it up into 3, right? Boom, boom, boom. And now I can take the rest of the race. I can just click on that and then do the same thing again. Say split. Split it into 3 activities and the same thing. You do need to know where your transitions were in order to do this. Be able to identify them on the map. Okay. This is the next transition area, happened here. Okay. Where we went from trekking to biking. And there. Okay. And then after the biking, after this trekking section, there was the biking, and we biked all the way to here, which was TA2. There we are. Okay. Now you can see that it actually lingers there for a minute, right? I'm going to show you what to do with that next with the crop function. All right. So I split that. And that is how you split the race into all the different parts. You'll just keep doing that all the way through the race until you get to the end. Okay. So I no need to show you how to continue to do that. It's just doing the same thing over and over again. Now, what I'm going to do is see that all listed as runs is I'm going to actually start to relabel them. So two things I want to do here. One is I may want to crop. So you see it has the prologue. This is the GPS from the dot. So the dot is actually not very accurate when it comes to slower legs. If you have your Garmin or something else tracking you, you can actually get much more. You can get much more accurate data between the transitions, but then you also have at the transition areas you end up with a whole lot of extra distance that actually doesn't exist because it's just bouncing around while you're in transition. So what you want to do is you want to crop. So I'll click on the three dots, I'll go to crop. Okay, and then from here I can actually adjust in, right, the starting point. If it will let me. There it goes. Okay. Yeah. See, it's because it's actually just has this dot and the next. That's the information that came. There's nothing to crop there, and looks like the same the way this arcs up. So there's nothing really to crop there either. So we'll just cancel. I'll show you on the bike leg something you can actually crop. The way to crop. Again, if you have your Garmin or Strava or some other type of GPS tracking you, you would have a more accurate show of your movement. Then I'm going to edit the activity. Right here's where I can change the name. I could say C2C prologue. Right. I already have a prologue. I'm going to say call this prologue sample. Since this is still just a sample, I don't want it to get confused with my actual information. I could turn this into, well, we weren't running, we were hiking. Or for the biking section, you can turn it into a ride, run, what have you. So this is where you also can make those changes. Okay. And right now I have it set to only me because I don't want this to go on my Strava. And then you save it. Okay. I'm going to go back to my activities, private. So you see prologue sample is there. Let me come to this bike section and crop and edit that so you get an idea of what that looks like. So want to crop because you don't want the time in your transition areas to count towards your time, or you want it to count towards your distance if you have a more accurate GPX. So we're going to go ahead and move this to right when it starts to leave the transition area. Okay, that's what I usually like to do, just when I actually see it going out. Okay, and then I'm going to zoom in on TA2, and actually I have this section here, so this actually shouldn't be here. That is actually their trekking leg. Okay, so we're going to split this. So we're going to cancel this and split this out. That was a mistake, but it's good that I made the mistake because now you can see what to do for this and how to split a pre-split leg. We only need to split this into two activities, right? And this is their trekking leg back to the TA, right? Split. And don't worry, remember the name is going to stay exactly the same for each one, but don't worry, once you look at it, you can see the map and know exactly what that leg was. All right, so private ones, use it as a filter. Okay, C2C sample. We can go back to here now. And now we'll crop it. And now the map is more accurate from TA1 to TA2, just a bike leg. So again, we want to get this to where it starts to leave. And we want to get this as soon as they arrive. So see all this is time that they were there. See all the extra time that they were there. They shouldn't be a part of their bike ride. There we go. And now it just has just the actual ride itself, and then we edit it, change this to bike leg to TA2 or whatever you want to call it, right? And this was a bike ride. Save it. And there you have it. Okay. And this is how you will go about taking your entire GPS file of multiple legs in an adventure race and turning it into your separate actual legs of your event. You split them, you keep splitting them until you get all your legs, and then go through and then crop each leg, rename it, and recategorize it to the actual sport that you want. All right, hope that helps.